Welcome to Horror Story Society, where the lights feel colder and the shadows feel closer. Tonight's story begins right now. I'm going to tell this the way it happened, because if I dress it up, it'll sound fake. The scariest part wasn't a monster or a ghost. It was how normal everything looked, right up until it didn't. And it started with a Facebook Marketplace listing that was too good to be real, and I still went anyway. It was late fall, and I was in that broke, irritated phase of life where every purchase feels like an argument with yourself. I just moved into a small apartment on the edge of town. No washer, no dryer. The laundry room in the building was one of those basement setups with two machines that smelled like mildew and defeat. So I started hunting for a used washer and dryer set. I wasn't picky. I wasn't looking for smart anything. I just wanted a machine that wouldn't flood my kitchen. For 2 days, I scrolled marketplace listings like it was my second job. Most of them were either scams, stock photos, weird captions, or sellers wanting almost new prices for broken junk. Then I saw it. Washer and dryer set. $180. Must pick up today. The photos looked real. The seller had the set sitting in a garage. A handwritten note on a piece of cardboard said, "Works great." It was the kind of price that makes you stop scrolling. The kind that makes your brain go, "This is my lucky day." The seller's profile name was Megan. Profile picture. A woman smiling in a baseball cap, sunlight behind her. The account looked normal enough at a glance. Friends, a couple public posts, nothing screaming fake. I messaged right away. Within 2 minutes, Megan. Yes, still available. Need gone tonight. Can you come after 8? After 8 wasn't ideal, but I told myself it was fine. People work. People have kids. People have schedules. I asked for the address. Meet at St. Bridget Church parking lot. Easy to load. My brother will help. That was the first moment my gut did that little tightening thing. A church parking lot. At night. And the item was, a washer and dryer, why not your house? I typed. She replied fast. We're moving. House is chaos. Church is right by storage. We'll bring them there. Easier. My brain tried to smooth the wrinkle. Moving is messy. People do weird stuff when they're stressed. Then she added, cash only. Of course. I asked if I could call her. Even just a quick voice call. She sent, can't talk right now. Baby asleep, just text. That made my gut tighten again. But the deal was sitting there like a shiny coin in a gutter. So I said yes. Here's the part where, if you're listening, you're probably already annoyed with me. I ignored little things, not because I'm reckless, because I wanted the deal to be real. I asked for one more photo, something specific. A close-up of the dryer brand plate, or a shot of the power cords. Anything that proved she was actually there. She sent another picture, but it looked slightly different. Same machines, same garage, but the angle was weirdly professional, like it had been taken for a listing somewhere else. And the lighting didn't match the first set of photos. I stared at it too long, the way you stare at something you don't want to admit. Then I told myself, it's fine, it's just a picture. I sent my phone number so her brother could call when they arrived. She read it and didn't respond for a few minutes, then, okay, see you 8:30, park by back lot. That phrase is nothing, technically. Churches have back lots, but my brain filed it under not great. I checked the location on maps. St. Bridget was about 25 minutes from me, in a smaller town area where the streetlights get sparse and the roads go quiet. I told my friend Kyle about it in a casual way, like I was telling him about grocery shopping. Not because I thought I was in danger, but because some part of me wanted another person to know where I was going. Kyle sent back, Meet at a police station. Seriously. I laughed and typed, "Bro, it's a washer and dryer." Kyle didn't laugh. He just replied, "Text me when you're home." That should have been my sign. At 8:10, I loaded cash into my wallet, $180 in 20s, plus a little extra just in case. I borrowed a dolly from my neighbor and threw it in the back of my SUV. It was one of those nights where the cold feels wet, like it's seeping into your clothes. The sky was a low, dark gray, no stars. The closer I got to the church, the less my phone wanted to cooperate. Bars dropped from 4 to 2 to 1. Then it bounced back like it was indecisive. I turned onto a 2-lane road lined with trees and open fields. Headlights swept across fences and mailboxes. Every few minutes, another car passed going the other direction, fast, like they had somewhere to be. Then the GPS announced, "In 500 feet, your destination will be on the right." St. Bridget Church appeared, small and older, with a white steeple and a parking lot that spread wider than it needed to. The front lot had one light pole on, but it only lit a circle. Everything outside that circle felt swallowed. I pulled in and slowed down. And right away, I noticed something that made my heart shift. There was already a car there. Not parked near the church doors. Parked farther out, closer to the edge of the lot. Just sitting. Headlights off. Engine maybe on, maybe not. I couldn't tell. I stayed in my SUV and texted, "Here." A minute passed. No response. I checked the marketplace chat. My last message still there. See you 8:30. Then my phone did something small but sickening. The listing page refreshed, and the washer-dryer post was gone. Not sold, not pending. Gone. Like it never existed. I stared at the screen, thumb hovering. Maybe she deleted it so other buyers wouldn't spam her. That's what my brain tried to offer me, but my stomach didn't buy it. I texted again. "Hey, I'm in the lot. Where should I park?" 3 dots appeared, then disappeared. Then my phone rang. Unknown number. I answered, because in that moment I wanted it to be normal more than I wanted to be safe. A man's voice, low and clipped. "You the one for the set?" "Yeah," I said. "I'm here." "Good," he said. "Back lot, by the shed. Don't park under the light, hard to load. Don't park under the light." The words hit the exact part of my brain that handles danger. I tried to keep my voice steady. "Which shed?" He exhaled like I was wasting his time. "You'll see it. Drive around back. We're already here." The line went dead. I looked at the car sitting in the dark corner of the lot. For the first time all night, I had a sharp, clear thought. If I drive around back, no one will see me. I should have left right then. Instead, I did the dumb thing people do when they don't want to feel paranoid. I compromised. I drove slowly, not around back, but along the edge of the lit circle, so I could see more of the lot. My headlights swept across the church building. No movement. Then I saw it. A darker area behind the church with a gravel strip and what looked like a maintenance shed. No other cars back there, just shadows. I stopped where I could still see the main road through the trees. I didn't turn off my engine. I didn't get out. I texted Kyle. "Here." Listing vanished. "Weird." Kyle replied immediately. "Leave." And then, as if on cue, my driver's side window got tapped. Not hard, just a light knock. I jerked my head. A man stood there, close enough that my headlights lit his face in a harsh white. He wore a dark hoodie and a beanie. No logo, no bright colors. Like he'd dressed specifically to be anonymous. He smiled like we were old friends. "You're the washer guy," he said. I didn't like his smile. It didn't reach his eyes. "Yeah," I said carefully. "Where are they?" He gestured with his thumb over his shoulder toward the darkness behind the church. "Right back there," he said. "My brother's got 'em by the shed." I glanced past him. Behind him, in the darkness, something moved. A second figure. Not fully visible, just the outline of someone shifting, like they'd stepped behind the corner of the building. My throat tightened. The man at my window leaned closer, like he was trying to see inside my SUV. "Pop the trunk," he said. "We'll load you up quick." "Can I see them first?" I asked. He let out a laugh that sounded practiced. "They're heavy. We already moved them. Come on." "I'm not popping anything until I see them," I said. The smile slid off his face for half a second. Then it came back, thinner. "All right," he said. "Just pull back by the shed. It's easier." I shook my head. "Bring them here." His eyes flicked to the lit area, like he'd just noticed it was brighter than he wanted. He stared at me for a long beat. Then he said, friendly again, "Man, you being weird." That sentence, "you being weird," was meant to flip it onto me, make me feel embarrassed, make me comply, and I almost did. Then the second figure in the dark spoke, not loudly, just enough that I heard it. "Tell him to get out." My skin went cold. The man by my window heard it too. He didn't react, but his jaw tightened. He leaned down, closer to the glass, and lowered his voice like he was giving me a secret. "Look," he said, "we got other people coming. You want it or not?" I swallowed. "Not tonight." I put my SUV in drive. That's when his hand shot out fast and grabbed my door handle. He yanked, locked. His smile vanished completely. He slapped the window with his palm. "Hey, hey." I didn't wait. I hit the gas. Gravel sprayed. The SUV lurched forward. In my mirror, I saw him stumble back, then straighten and start moving fast toward the darkness behind the church. And from that darkness, the other figure broke into a run. Not toward the shed, toward the car that had been sitting in the corner of the lot, the one I'd noticed when I arrived. My heart started hammering so hard it felt like it was shaking my vision. They had a car. They had a plan. And I had just triggered the go signal. I swung my SUV toward the lot exit. My tires squealed slightly on the cold pavement. The corner car's headlights exploded on behind me. Bright, immediate. It shot forward like it had been waiting. I hit the main road, and the car followed so close its headlights filled my rear window. Not a normal someone left at the same time follow. A tail. I did what everyone tells themselves they do in a situation like this. I didn't drive home. I didn't drive to a quiet place. I drove toward light, toward people. There was a gas station about 3 miles down the road near the interstate on-ramp. 24 hours, big bright sign, cameras. I floored it. The car behind me stayed with me like it was glued. My phone buzzed in my lap. Kyle calling. I answered with one hand, voice shaking. "Kyle, where are you?" he snapped. "They're following me," I said. "From the church." "Do not stop," Kyle said. "Call 911, I'm trying." I looked at my screen. No service. Of course. My throat went tight with panic. Kyle's voice came through a little broken, but clear enough. "Get to the interstate. Get to the gas station by the ramp. Bright lights. Don't stop anywhere dark." That was exactly what I was doing. The road curved through a patch of trees, and for about 5 seconds there were no houses, no side roads, just darkness. In those 5 seconds, the car behind me surged closer, so close I could see the silhouette of the driver. Then it swerved left, like it was going to pass me. My stomach flipped. It didn't pass. It drifted halfway into the other lane and matched my speed, riding my flank. And then it did something that made my blood turn to ice. It flashed its brights. On, off, like a signal, like communication. And from behind, in the passenger seat, I saw movement, an arm lifting, something long in a hand. Not sure if it was a tire iron, a bat, something like that, but I didn't need to know exactly. My brain understood enough. I punched the horn, long blast, then another. The sound ripped through the quiet road. For a second, the car hesitated, drifting back behind me like it hadn't expected that. I used that second. I accelerated harder, engine whining. The trees opened up and I saw it. The interstate ramp ahead, the glow of the gas station sign like a lighthouse. I made the turn onto the ramp. The car followed. Closer again. I could feel them trying to pressure me, trying to make me panic, make me crash, make me pull off. I didn't. I kept going straight to the gas station lot. And when I swung into the bright lights, I did something that probably saved me. I didn't park. I circled, slow but steady, like I was just looking for a pump. The car behind me rolled into the lot too. It slowed like the lights bothered it. It stayed near the edge of the station, not pulling up to a pump. I saw two men inside, one in the driver's seat, one in the passenger seat, both staring at me, but my hands were slippery on the wheel. Kyle's voice in my ear. "Are you there? Are you safe?" "I'm at the gas station," I whispered. "They're here too." "Go inside," Kyle said. "Tell the clerk. Stay on the phone with me." I spotted the front door and the big window with the open sign. I pulled my SUV up near the entrance, close enough that the security cameras were definitely catching my plates. Then I got out. The cold hit me like a slap. I walked fast, not running, because running feels like prey. Inside the gas station, the fluorescent light made everything look sickly and real. There was a bored-looking clerk behind the counter, a middle-aged guy in a hoodie, two customers by the coffee machine. I went straight to the counter and said, low and urgent, "Someone's following me. I think they were trying to rob me. Can you call the cops?" The clerk's eyes sharpened instantly. He didn't argue or question. He glanced out the window, saw the car idling at the edge of the lot, and his posture changed. He picked up the phone behind the counter and started dialing. One of the customers by the coffee machine looked over like, "What's going on?" The car outside sat there, engine running. For maybe 30 seconds, nothing happened. Then the driver's side door opened. One of the men stepped out. He didn't come inside. He just stood there under the edge of the lights, staring through the glass. Then he lifted his hand and made a small motion with his fingers. Not a wave, more like, "Come here." My stomach rolled. I shook my head once, even though he probably couldn't see it clearly. The man stood there a moment longer. Then he turned, got back in the car, and the car pulled out of the lot. Not fast, not squealing tires, just leaving, like it was no big deal, like it could come back whenever it wanted. A deputy showed up about 10 minutes later. By then, I was shaking so hard I could barely hold my phone. I explained everything: the listing, the church, the missing post, the two men, the door handle, the chase. The deputy listened without interrupting, occasionally asking sharp questions. What were they driving? Any plates? Did they say names? Did you ever see the washer dryer? When I got to that part, no, I never saw them. The deputy's expression went very still. He said, "Yeah, just that, yeah." Then he told me something I didn't like hearing, because it made it more real. He said that wasn't a sale. I stared at him. He continued, "That was a lure. Apparently it's common enough that they had a term for it. Not in a dramatic way, in a tired way, like he'd seen it before." He asked to see the seller profile. I opened my phone and showed him. The deputy squinted, then sighed. "That account might have been hijacked," he said. "Real person's name and photo. Stolen login." He pointed at the marketplace chat. "They picked a big item because it brings people with trucks and cash, and it gets you to a place they control." My throat went dry. "So, robbery?" "Could have been," he said. "Could have been worse." That last part sat in my chest like a rock. He asked me to drive back toward the church with him, not to confront anyone, just to identify the spot and look for the car. I refused. I didn't feel brave. I felt lucky. The deputy didn't push. He just nodded like he understood. He told me to go home, but not straight home. Drive around, make sure I wasn't being followed, check my mirrors, keep my lights on. If I saw the same car, go straight back to the station. I did all of it. That night I didn't sleep. Every time a car passed outside my apartment, my body went rigid. 2 days later, I got another marketplace notification. Not from Megan, from a different account. No profile picture, no posts, just a name, Drew. The message said, "Still want the set? We can meet, same place." I stared at it until my eyes hurt, because I hadn't told anyone outside Kyle and the police. Not publicly, not on the app, which meant one thing: they were still fishing, still using the same spot, still hoping the next person would be less cautious. I didn't reply. I screenshot everything and sent it to the deputy's email like he'd asked. Then I blocked the account and deleted Marketplace off my phone for a week. And I thought that would be the end. It wasn't. A month later, I was at a different gas station, middle of the day, when I saw a car that made my stomach drop. Same shape, same color, same dent on the front bumper. Could have been coincidence, but it was parked 2 rows over facing my car. And inside, a man sat in the driver's seat, just watching the lot. I didn't wait to confirm. I walked back into the store and stood by the window like I was waiting for someone. The car stayed for another minute, then rolled out. Maybe it wasn't them, but my body reacted like it was. That's the part nobody tells you about stuff like this, how it lingers, how your brain starts scanning for patterns like it's trying to prevent the future. I still use Marketplace sometimes, but I do it like I'm buying something from a wild animal, respectfully, cautiously, and assuming it can hurt me if I get careless. Here are the rules I follow now, every single time. Public meetup only, police station parking lot if possible, daylight only, no come around back, no meet by the shed, no I'll text you when you're close. If the listing disappears while I'm en route, I turn around. If they won't video call or won't take a fresh photo with today's date, I'm out. If my gut tightens for any reason, I'm out. Because I learned something that night. The deal isn't the point. The point is getting you somewhere you shouldn't be, at a time you shouldn't be there, with cash you shouldn't have brought. And if you ever end up somewhere dark, alone, staring at a place that feels wrong, and your phone shows you that the listing is suddenly gone, don't do what I did. Don't negotiate with your embarrassment. Don't worry about seeming rude, just leave. Because the most dangerous people don't jump out screaming. They smile, act annoyed, and try to make you feel weird right up until you're where they want you. This is Horror Story Society, and you made it to the end. If you felt that chill, hit like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.